Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Faiz bin Dharma. I am from BA2424B, and today I would like to present my video assignment based on conventional finance and Islamic finance. I would like to give a definition about the conventional between Islamic finance. The first one is conventional finance. The conventional finance is the conventional based on a full-fledged intermediary model that lend borrower to supplier and then loan to companies or individual. They provide marginal interest rate between loan rate and loan. They also provide banking services such as credit card and guarantees. They derive some of their profit from cheap budget that are received through demand deposit. Conventional banks are prohibited from trading and their assets are heavily restricted to small portion of their net worth. And for the Islamic finance, it's a banking or financing activity that comply with Sharia and is practical through the development of economic Islamic. Islamic financing are compliant with the principle and rule of Sharia or Islamic law that exclude of riba, gharar and maisir. Okay, now let's move to another section, which is issue in Islamic banking based on our country, Malaysia. First one, the banking sector in Malaysia was developed together with the economy of the country and may be influenced by the world economy in order to fulfill the requirement of the consumer, individual and corporate. The financial institution come with new innovative product in order to remain competitive. This is also seen as a way to allow greater flexibility in the industry to cope with the dynamic environment. Sharia is the Islamic law of human conduct, which govern business matter. Because of the prohibition of certain element in transaction, Islamic bank have to develop financial product that perform to Sharia. This may result in having a mirror product that the conventional has already in their pipeline. It involves the accountability and responsibility of all the key function, which is board of director, Sharia committee and the management. For an Islamic finance to comply with the Sharia government framework, which was introduced in late 2010 by the Central Bank of Malaysia, taking for example the deposit product of saving account in conventional bank, which are based on interest, whereby an Islamic bank will have the same product name as saving account, which is under contract of either wadi'ah, which means safekeeping, or mudarabah for profit sharing. This is said to satisfy the Sharia and at the same time the customer need. Restyling the existing product has created a number of a special product in the market. With this new innovative product, the relationship between financer and borrower are considered a partnership which risk attached instead of being borne by a single party. Products are said to be categorized into four major contracts, which mean ijarah, mudarabah, musyarakah and murabaha. As Islamic banks have increased its presence and position around the globe via Islamic window and offering specific Islamic financial product or enacting as fully flagged Islamic licensed bank, the two important issues to look at the legal aspect of Islamic contract and the regulatory aspect of Islamic finance, recognizing and realizing of the fact that society has now been given an alternative way of doing banking. Okay, now let's move to another section, which is value proposition under conventional and Islamic finance. There are several points that I will discuss under conventional finance and Islamic finance. So let's go for the conventional finance first. There are 2 points here. The first one is geared toward consumer-friendly customer. It means the conventional bank tries to attract more customers with the objective of the profit maximization. And for the second one of the value proposition is socio-economic benefit for the consumer. So when this situation happen, there will be not any need for socially responsible in investing. The investing which gradually gaining ground as part of the aftermath of the recent global finance meltdown. And for the value proposition under Islamic finance, there are 2 points also, which mean the first one is aspect of law Islamic finance toward with Sharia scholar. There is a need for formal specialization in the regulation of finance. Through the expert in the proposed field might not necessarily be Sharia scholars. They will be well equipped with the in-depth knowledge and expertise of Islamic finance generally, with special reference to the regulation of Islamic finance in different jurisdictions across the world. And for the second one is global integration. Totally, Islamic law does not reject foreign value as long as they not contradict the fundamental of the Islam. On such a foreign rule or principle are in consonance with the Maqasid al-Sharia, they will classify as part of maslahah, secondary sources of Sharia. The implication of such foreign rules that they are taken into consideration as if they originally emerged from fundamental of Sharia to remain in a comfort zone. Okay. Now there are picture here that show of the function of the value proposition between conventional finance and Islamic finance. There are 4 characteristics that be main in these 2 types of banking. Firstly is function and operating modes, and for the reason why, and main basic, and the last one the advantage of build up of the bank. Let's move to another section, which is under operational mechanism. As the conventional bank are established under the principle of capitalization and transact business by charging interest, which is unacceptable, forbidden in Islamic law. In the conventional finance industry, including interest-based transaction, ghoro, absolute risk of outcome, maisir, and gimar, winning of a party is linked with the losses of another. Financing for haram, unlawful purpose, and absence of profit and loss sharing, risk sharing by the financer. Meanwhile, as the Islamic bank, it is not based transaction that charging interest, but it based on work and effort. It also not involve riba, ghoro, and maisir, but it still offers service that same with conventional bank. For example, profit sharing, selling, lease, and benevolent. Here there are characteristics for operational mechanism under Islamic finance. There are 3 here. The first one is avoidance of ghoro. It is reference to enter into a contract in absolutely no risk or uncertainty about the ultimate result of the contract and the nature and or quality and specification of the subject matter or the right and obligation of the parties. And the second one is avoidance of my say. My say refer to easily available wealth or acquisition of wealth by chance, whether or not it deprive the other's right. And the last one is profit and loss sharing. According to this principle, capitalized the binding profit on capital should also participate in loss as well. According to this principle, an investor can earn return on his investment subject to risk of loss. Hence, concept of risk-free return is disappear under Islamic financial system. Okay, next, for the operational mechanism under conventional finance, the first one is allowance of interest and usury in finance dealing. Under conventional financial system, money is more an asset and it is a factor of production independently. And for the second one is financing for all of business activity such as liquor, pornography, adultery, dance, club. Conventional banking insurance are unlawful. Hence, earning return through investment in any of these activities is allowed under conventional finance system. And for the last one is profit and loss sharing. There is no fixed rate or interest collected along with the principle of loan. Now let's move to another section, which mean under instrument offer. Both of bank which are conventional and Islamic are offer same transaction, but those instruments had a different name and their own characteristic. For example of transaction that be made by conventional and Islamic finance is like trading, participating, and supporting. Under Islamic finance, it has a different name, but it based on the same transaction. Thus, it will make us easy for customer to get money as an intermediate for them to get an asset. Okay, the transaction under Islamic financing divide by three. The first one is participating, and for the others name in Islamic finance is mudarabah and musyarakah. And for the second one is trading. The others name in Islamic finance is murabahah, ijarah, istithna, and sales. And for the last one, the others name under supporting transaction in Islamic finance is ran, wakalah, kafalah, wadi'ah, and the last one is ibrah. Okay, for the conventional finance, it has equity and debt financing. There are also three transactions consist divide by three. The first one is participating, which means deposit loan. Investment contract, financer and investor do not share the associated risk of the investment. In this action, borrower must produce return to cover for the principal and interest without any contemplation of risk to his investment. Other than that, is bank and customer are not act as a business partner. For the second one is under trading, debt-based contract, which means debt financing. For example, housing loan, personal loan, car loan. A loan where interest is charged upon. And the last one is ordinary share or equity share. The share means ownership of the shareholder in the firm asset. When the financial institution need fund, they can issue more share to attain fund for the business. Okay, that's all my video presentation today. So thank you for watching.